Good morning, everybody. This is Dr. Williams talking a little bit about formatting an MLA 8 essay. Okay, so what does all that mumbo jumbo mean? What does my essay look like on the page when I get it correctly spaced and all that good stuff? So here are your answers. Number 1, I don't really have a preference as to font type. I want it to be easy to read. Many people prefer Times New Roman. It is very clear. It must be in 12-point font. That is a rule. It's easy size to read, particularly for those of us who don't see well. Okay, this is my Word document. I am not doing this in a Google Doc. If you need Google Docs directions, I can send you video links. All right. Here's some other things that you need to set. You see these keys, or rather these little drawings right here. These mean how is the typing on the page arranged in terms of which margin, or is it in the center? The answer is the default is a line left. Leave it there. The next thing I would suggest you do is go into paragraph settings. You should see now alignment left, body text, and some other things here. Microsoft Word at the moment has some defaults that are not correct for MLA style. Let's pay attention to spacing. These numbers both need to be 0, so you will just set them at 0. I recommend that you click Don't Add Space Between Paragraphs of the Same Style. You need to be set on double spacing only. And you have a preview, right? You may know this already. So click on OK, and you're automatically going to double space throughout the whole entire essay, which is really part of the deal. Your margins should be 1 inch. That is usually the default nowadays. You might have to check that, okay? So, how do we format this paper? What does that mean? First thing I'm going to recommend to you for anything you turn in this semester is you double click up here toward the top. This is called the header. This is where you place one piece of information only, and it is your page numbering. We start numbering on the first page. So I would click on page number, and I would choose top and wait till it unrolls for you and go down to plain number 3. Notice, please, that my cursor now is in front of that number. That's where it's supposed to be. This gives you the opportunity to type in your last name. I'm going to type in my last name. Then I'm going to hit the space bar. That is what page numbering should look like. No commas, no dashes, no fancy, no nothing. Then what I would do is double click out of that, and this will be your header for the entire paper, except that it will change its number every time you go to a new page, and that's what you want. It has to be numbered consecutively. All right, now what do we do, Dr. Williams? We have the MLA Style Heading. Please note, these are two different terms. The term that regards where you put your page number is header. The term that means the information that begins your paper is heading. This is a little tricky sometimes for people. How do I do a correct heading? I'm going to use generic terms here. You're going to type your name. You're going to hit the Enter key, and this should be set on double spacing. Let's check to be sure. It says double spacing. Okay, we're going to get out of that. The next item is your professor's name. There's a whole lot of things you can call me. You can make this Dr. Williams, Mrs. Williams, Mary Williams, or M. Williams. I don't care. All of those are correct, okay? Then the next piece of information is your English class information. So you may call it, again, there's options, English 2322, or you could call it British Literature 1. Either of those would work for me, as long as I know. The final piece in a heading is the date on which this thing is due. If it's a rough draft of the essay, you need to give me the rough draft due date, etc. So I'm going to use today's date. Here's how we do dates in MLA. We do the number, followed by the month, often abbreviated, followed by the year. Please notice there are no commas, there are no dashes or slashes. Can I write out the name of the month? Yes, you can. All right, because we are set on double spacing, we're going to hit the enter key one more time. Titles of essays are always centered. That's the second choice here, right here where you have, how can I align my font? You're going to center your title. Please do not call it research paper or final paper for British literature. Give it a real name. I'm going to pretend that I wrote a paper about, let's see, monarchs in England, because that's one of our topics that we're studying this semester. So I'm going to pretend that my essay is called something like this: Elizabeth I and Mary, Queen of Scots. Let's notice, regardless of the words in your title, you do not put a period after it. You capitalize every important word. Words that should not be capitalized are things like and or in the middle, and prepositions like of, on, at, below, and between, words like that. If you have a two-line title because it's lengthy, you just keep on typing. The second line will also be centered under here, and you keep capitalizing correctly. Most of you will not have that. I don't have that right now. You're going to hit the enter key again, and then you're going to go over here and left align one more time. There should be only one enter between the title and the date, and the title and the first paragraph of your paper. Ooh, that looks a little squished. That's the rule. Let's do it that way. We always begin paragraphs by hitting the tab key one time only, and we start typing here. So here is my first paragraph. Now, I don't have a whole paper to show you, so I'm going to have to hit the enter key a bunch to scroll down and show you what else you need to see. Now, you should see on your screen that again, the header information changed. It says my last name followed by a 2. If yours can't do that, you need to figure out, technically speaking, how do you make that work in whatever program you're using, whatever version of that program. I can't always help you. Get in touch with your IT people, with your aides. You can even ask our people at Midland College, but I do not recommend that you ask me because I probably don't know. We start at the first line we've got available, so it's about 2 spaces roughly below the bottom of the header. This is where we're going to start again. If you have not started a new paragraph here, then you're going to begin at that left margin. So this is a continuation of the previous paragraph, let's say. However, look at this carefully. Do you see what it says? If, however, this is a new paragraph, guess what we're going to do? We're going to tab that over one time. And instead, this would say, I started a new paragraph. And if I have a new paragraph starting at the top of the page, I tab over one time and I begin. It will entirely depend on what's happening, and you won't know that until you get there. I do have other videos available, like what does the works cited page look like? This is a very basic format of MLA paper format. This is all I have for you today. I hope y'all have a great rest of your day and weekend, and I will talk to you again later. Thank you very much.